Good morning. It's November 18th. It's 10 o'clock. The call to order. Eldon Callan.
Here.
Ed Hawkins.
Here.
Tom Bloom. All three of us are here. Please rise for a moment of silent meditation and pledge to the flag. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we will now have consents and approvals.
Okay, we have 43 exonerations, $13,430.15. I'll skip over the fiduciary
Okay,
matters because
that
there's
sounds
several
good.
of those. Minutes, Board of Assessment Appeals, October 2015, plus a correction. This was a result of an order being incorrectly printed. It was the last one that you did with Andrew Smith. This is where you said no change because the office had been moved into the residence.
Correct.
So the no change should be in the amount of $227,600. So I prepared a new order that you can sign, and then Janet will insert this in the minutes. And also the minutes of October 28 and November 4. Vouchers, General County Fund, $284,113.06. General County Fund Purchasing Card, $27,017.74. Coal Severance Fund, $19,183.50. Camp Muffley, $3,676.94. Chestnut Ridge Park, $6,964.73. Mason-Dixon Park, $567.28. Mason-Dixon Park Purchasing Card, $253.95. Assessor's Valuation Fund, $3,643.80. 911 Purchasing Card, $1,620.94. 911 Cash, $2,111.01. Morgantown Industrial TIF, $22,371.15. Mon General TIF, $130,997.08. Star City TIF, $101,461.62. University Town Center, $357,183.29, for a total of $961,166.09. And I have one revision for home confinement budget, moving $3,500 from $705,226 to $705,459, and $5,200 from $705,341 to $705,459.
Move for approval.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now we will have the fiduciary orders, and we'll do one at a time.
Okay. You have Statement of Services for Lynn Crane. Do you want to do all these at once or individually?
Are there more than one statement of service?
No,
Let's group
just
them up.
one.
I'd move we approve the services.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
The regular minutes of Wednesday, November 18, settling the accounts.
Move for approval.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
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 We have a request for a hearing to, this is a motion asking for the removal of personal representative from the estate of Edgar Allen Haynes. This would be set for Wednesday, December 9 at 10:15.
Move to set the date for the date just was stated.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That date. Okay.
That date.
I have an agreed order for your signature. That is a proof of claim in the amount of $13,500 from Jennifer McGinley to Tamara Kincheski, and this is satisfaction of proof of claim. This was settled before it went to a fiduciary commissioner. So you need to approve that.
I haven't seen it. I have
okay.
a difficulty with not seeing these things. Okay, so you got 3 days to pay it. Once we pass it, I would move for approval.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I trust you, Joseph.
Aye. Okay.
And the last is a request to compel accounting of the estate of Jesse Statler.
Is anyone here on that? I guess not.
This is being
Was it-
presented at the request of Wes Matheny Esquire. There's not been any accounting on this estate since 2007.
It's only 8 years.
Everything seems to be in order. I'd move for approval.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Okay, do you have anything else under that item?
No.
Okay. Do we have any introduction of new employees?
Yes, we do.
That's what I thought. I've learned my lesson. He taught me. I forgot to look at him.
Thank you, Sheriff.
We have actually two today. One you're familiar with. The first one is Walter Johnson. He's not here today because Walter used to be employed with us as a full-time court security officer, and then he went off and opened his own business. And then he found that he had some time that he could come back on a part-time basis, so we hired him back as a part-time civil process server. And then the person that's here with me today is Fred Morgan, and I'm going to hire him as a part-time civil process server also. Both of them will be paid $10.88 an hour. Their effective date was November 11th, and because of part-time status, not eligible for benefits, and both would have a 6-month probationary period.
Move for approval.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. All those in favor, say aye. It passes.
Are you, were you related to Mrs. Morgan? I can't remember her first name. You used to teach 6th grade in First Ward?
No. No.
I was just curious because you look so much like her.
Fred
She would
is-
probably be your grandmother or great-grandmother, aunt or something like that.
Fred's related to Jason, who's one of our deputies.
Oh, okay, you're related
And
to Jason.
John, who's a Westover officer. And,
You had some children go through University High School, didn't you? That's how I knew you. Yes. Okay. Well, I won't hold that against you.
man, what a memory. You won't hold that against him. Yeah. Just graduate.
Oh, that's what's wrong.
Be kind. I graduated from University High as well.
Well, then,
I graduated from MHS.
well, I worked at
hold that
both
against
schools.
me
I worked
either.
at both schools, so I'm very proud of both of them.
No?
By the way, Mrs. Morgan was my favorite teacher.
Okay. 10:05, comments from the public. If there's anyone here concerning that, I see all media and important people. Well, I better be careful I said it. Elected, yeah. Is there anyone here who would like to speak? Whoops. Okay, moving right along. Ms. McClure will talk to us about grants.
Yes, sir. Morning.
Good morning.
Since we had no meeting last week, I have quite a stack for you. Do the request for reimbursements first.
Okay.
The VOCA grant for October 2015, $3,442.91. And we have several items from the Governor's Highway Safety Program. First is alcohol transfer funds for October, $4,597.69. The DUI grant, also for October, $2,526.84. Safe Communities, also from Governor's Highway Safety, $258.82. And then we have the Day Report Center grant, October 2015, $16,308.90. And that is all the items for reimbursement today.
Move to approve the reimbursements.
Second?
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I will sign them.
Okay, thank you. We have a contract, MAYSP was seeking funding from the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Program. They did receive their grant, $20,000, and we finally have the contract from the state, so I'm just asking for the president's signature on the contract, the lobbying certificate, equal opportunity employment certificate, and the special conditions and assurances, and I also have a resolution. Be it resolved that the Monongalia County Commission hereby authorizes the Honorable Thomas C. Bloom, President of the Monongalia County Commission, to act on its behalf to enter into a contractual agreement with the Division of Justice and Community Services to receive and administer grant funds pursuant to provisions of the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Grant Program.
Move to approve the resolution as read.
Second?
Been moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes.
I just have a couple of items to read into the record. We had some Governor's Highway Safety Program, some of their programs that we have grant money through had no activity for the month of October. The first is the MAP 21 impaired driving. The second, traffic safety data, and the Department of Highways distracted driving programs. Those items, click it or ticket, didn't have any activity for the month of October. Let's read those into the record.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Is Mike Wolf here?
He is not going to come today, not quite ready to give you the results of that RFQ.
Gotcha. Okay, then we don't have to worry about that. Moving quickly on, correspondence. Yeah.
This is an announcement from Carpet One that on Friday, November 20 at 10 a.m., representatives from the Stephen Siller Tunnel to Towers Foundation, an organization begun in memory of the fallen 911 firefighters, will pay a special visit to Carpet One Floor and Home in Morgantown. This is a program that builds high-tech smart homes for service members returning from war who have been catastrophically injured. Carpet One Floor is a manufacturing partner with Mohawk. They've committed to providing flooring materials and installation of 46 of these smart homes. Each store's customers are invited to share information about the program with others and make a personal contribution at the store site. They're hoping for $10 per customer. In recognition of that support, on Friday, members of the Fire Department of New York, acting on their own initiative as ambassadors of the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, will present a specially designed shadow box containing hallowed 9/11 steel from Ground Zero to Carpet One Floor and Home. So it's open to the public when to announce.
Thank you. I will try and stop by on that. Okay. Requisition number 9, ballpark payment.
Ballpark project, $304,488.49.
Move for approval.
Second?
Been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes. Solution Software Agreement.
John Veltri is the owner of Software Solutions. He does quite a bit of computer work for us for the circuit clerk and the prosecutor's office mainly. But this is an agreement that, in accordance with our understanding, John Veltri is using the first floor server room that's in the Justice Center as a server facility for both county and personal use. Access to this office will be 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. 120-day written notice from the President of the Commission will be given if John Veltri is required to move his equipment to a new location. All of the services provided by this server room will be legal and of legitimate business nature.
In talking with Mr. Doyle, he needed that area and access, and we wanted something in writing just so we had an agreement, so everyone knew exactly what he was, what was going on. So that's why we just wanted to have that.
Well, I need to ask the question
Sure.
before someone else asks it. What does he mean by personal use?
He has his own servers, and he had on the same rack as he has the prosecutors and the circuit clerks that he backs everything up on, so that he'll just have like material of his stuff in there.
Okay, he's not opening the business,
Oh, no.
No,
It's for the
it's
use.
just the equipment.
Yeah.
because I can see people twisting that around, saying he's gonna operate
No.
the business out of there.
It was just some servers and equipment that he had to put in that.
Just maintain his own sort of equipment.
Exactly. And for us in the building, yeah.
I'd move for approval.
Second?
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It passes.
Additional correspondence, I have a payment request. This is application 18 in the amount of $447,227.64. It's for the Justice Center.
Tell them how much we're holding.
Is this the ceiling?
This is for the Justice Center, the contractor down there. We said if they finish the biggest part of the punch list, we would pay them half of the retainage. And we're still holding $400 and some thousand till completed.
Okay.
Move for approval.
Second?
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Inquiry minds want to know from the County Commissioners Association of West Virginia regarding home rule.
We had an email back on January 13th, and it was from the County Commissioners Association of West Virginia, asking questions about would your county apply for home rule if it was an option? What are some of the potential pitfalls of county home rule? Do you have any other thoughts or views you would like to share? So Commissioner Hawkins asked that we bring this up today.
I just asked
talk
that
about
it, yeah, I just asked to be placed at, it was not January, was it? Is that November?
11 November, yeah.
Okay, that's okay.
I saw the one.
That's all right.
Yeah.
It's my thought that if we have all specifically addressed this at one point or another in time, but if we're going to give a proper answer, first of all, I would like for it to come from Commission as a whole, not as an individual, because if one of us was speaking as opposed to another, that would not look good for our cause to try and seek home rule, first of all. Secondly, I would like to think that we would employ also some individuals, and I just wrote these down. Jason came in, he would be one as well, such as John Deskins, Holly Childs, Tom Witt, who might be able to advise us on framing such a letter back to the association so that we could know what we're asking for. Let's put it that way. That's why I asked it to be put on here. I wasn't going to respond by myself to this
Yeah,
question,
and I thought,
even
yeah.
though each of us got the individual email. I didn't think that that would be a proper, it would not help our cause, let's put it that way.
As you all know, I've been involved in this discussion with the County Commissioners Association and the West Virginia Association of Counties for some time. County Commissioners Association has not taken a position on home rule for the simple reason because home rule means so many different things to so many different people.
Exactly.
We can't even get, and I know Joe gets upset when I say it but it has nothing to do with political party. It has to do with just the individual. We can't even get agreement among our legislators as to what home rule means or doesn't mean. In the County Commissioners Association legislative meeting back in August, July or August, I forget exactly when it was, we spent a good 3 hours studying different home rule aspects for counties throughout the United States in a number of different states. None of the states agree on what is included in home rule and what is not included in home rule. Home rule is a nice catchphrase. It makes good newspaper coverage. Say, oh, home rule. But you got to know what it means. And I've made this clear, and Commissioner Carper was at that meeting in August, by the way, and I made it clear to him at that time. What we're working on as Transportation Committee, in effect, is not home rule. Some people like to define it as home rule, but it's not. It's a specialized statute for the purpose of meeting a specific need and to work with the state agencies. That's very different. And it creates a avenue by which the state agencies, the Economic Development Office, the Transportation Office, the Department of Highways, and the counties can work more closely together in funding some special projects that are on a qualified list, and find a means without losing any other funding or losing anything else in the process. That is not the extent of home rule as others have discussed. I agree with Commissioner Hawkins that if we as a commission take a position, we as a commission ought to take a position and consider it. My problem is I am not in favor of home rule that will aid the state in giving us more unfunded mandates. And that appears to be, at least to some legislatures, their concept. We're going to give the counties more authority, but we're not going to give them any means to pay for it. So, as was discussed, it's going to be a situation where the legislators, and this is not focused on any specific legislature, but the legislator will be able to say, not our problem, go talk to the commission. Commission won't be able to do it. Commission won't be able to do it because they won't have any means to fund many things. Now, I'm very proud of the fact that we have continued to hold our levy rate down, and we will continue to hold our levy rate down. We knocked it down by over 3 points the first year I was here, and for good reason. And that's going to continue. I do not believe that the funding mechanism, as the way it is established now, where the property owners, let's get this straight, the property owners bear all the burden of everything that goes on in the county. But I know that the legislators are more than happy to say, we're going to give the county home rule, but we're not going to allow the county commission to be able to make any decisions on trying to raise any funds from anyone but the property owners, and that is not right. That's not right. This idea that everything must be, the burden all must be placed on the property owners and not shared by the general public or the transient public that comes through here. So my position is that what I would move for is that we as a commission respond with, we do not favor any generic home rule. We will only make a decision at which time that home rule is actually defined, that we know what authority we are giving and what opportunities we're giving. Until it's further defined, I think it's a mistake to take a position on it, and that's my opinion, and that's the reason why. Because I just don't know. I just know that everyone's talking about different things.
I'll support that if you care to make that into a motion.
I'll make that a motion.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second.
What I was trying to say is, until it's defined, we're not going to take a position.
Okay, is there a discussion? I probably, under the way that's written, instead I will probably vote against it, and here's the reason why. I believe we have a situation where, I agree with what you said, that everything's put on the property tax, the property owners, and I truly believe that is the problem that we are facing. It is our only mechanism in the county to raise funds. Sure. And we're in agreement that isn't. I like to use your terminology, and that's why I'm a little concerned with the wording of what you stated, that we have another tool in the toolbox. I agree with you. I would rather it stated that I'm not against home rule, I'm for home rule as long as it doesn't do what you said, it comes back being the unfunded mandates. I think it's a different way of saying it. My concern is that we have enabling legislation in the state. And for the public, enabling legislation basically means that if the legislature doesn't pass something, we are not allowed to do it.
Right.
The other states don't have that. That is why we are 50th, in my opinion. Okay, in my opinion, is one of the reasons why we're 50th, because we're not able to use different avenues and mechanisms. We have growth, and the three of us know there's a lot of growth going on, and I'm concerned that if this measure passes, what you're saying, people won't read your entire sentence. They'll only read the first.
Well, I've experienced that dozens of times.
The first part that says Mon County's against home rule, but I mean, there's a clarification of what you're trying to explain, and I'd rather turn it another way around. And I believe this issue probably came up because I was asked some questions by, was it the Charleston Gazette, and made the front page. I guess I guess I hit some nerves on the way I felt in my position. And I will continue doing that. That's why we're voting.
Well,
you see what I'm saying?
Let me see if I can clarify some of your question. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And I'm not. You're not saying anything much different than what I'm trying to say
how it's
anyway.
worded,
It's just you want to change the direction.
The semantics.
No, that's why I wanted to make it clear. This
Okay.
home rule issue has gone back for at least a year. It first started, and Jason, I'm glad to see Jason is here. Jason Donahue is a member of the Transportation Committee in Chamber of Commerce, and he was key working with Brian Helmick in crafting the original legislation. That legislation and similar type legislation that came out of Marshall County was the impetus for many legislators to start talking about home rule. So this issue is not something that's brand new. It may have been the motivation, that article may have been the motivation for them to send out an email, but that has certainly not been the motivation for studying this thing, because we've been studying it for 15 months at least. I guess that's what I'm saying. And if my position is that the county, as you've often heard me say, both here and at the legislature and in the governor's office, is the solution to the problems in the state of West Virginia does not exist in Charleston. The solution exists on the ground at the local level, as closer to the people as possible. That exists in the counties and the municipalities. They're the ones working together that will solve many of the problems in the state. So to understand what you're saying, and if Commissioner Hawkins will concede his second as well, I guess we could reword this to say that the county commission is in favor of the legislature giving more authority and power to the county commission without using that term home rule. I hate that term home rule.
Yeah.
Because everyone defines it differently. That this county commission is in favor of empowering the county commissions with authority and what's the other word you used? You used another word there. Authority and...
I'm thinking, too bad we can't rewind the tape. I'm trying to think, what it was. But it was tools block, oh gosh, I'm thinking. You put me. I was thinking like some options, giving us some options. As long as
let's say
unfunded,
authority and means to empower the county commission,
right,
by increasing their authority and means by which they can satisfy local needs more directly with the support of the state.
Yeah. And because I do want in there though, I agree with you, with the support of state and without putting on
placing unfunded mandates or other jurisdictions or jurisdictional responsibilities.
That's fine.
that cannot be and should not be funded by the local property owner. Would you
very comfortable with
concede
that.
your second
Yes.
and accept that
And
amendment?
accept that. as a
Okay, we
second.
have an amended motion that I would definitely, I'd like just like the wording.
That's fine.
Well, I'm in favor as well.
Yeah,
The
we're all
only
in
reason for putting
agreement.
it here, I wanted to make sure that whatever we said.
We did it
We
together.
said together,
Together.
not coming
Okay.
forth from one
Absolutely
individual.
right, and I appreciate that.
Good. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I think that was an excellent compromise. Because I think we were all trying to say the same thing. I was just afraid the
You put it
wording
up-
was going to,
right.
you know what Charleston would have done.
Right, I understand.
We're against it, yeah. Well, we're against any movement. Okay, is there any other correspondence? Good. Unfinished business. I do know we have something.
Oh, we're gonna do that now?
Yes,
Okay.
we received the letter, yeah.
Is he present?
Yeah.
What are
Yes.
we talking about? Okay. Don't wanna
Yes.
go in the wrong direction.
No, no.
Okay, as you all know, we've been working with the state Supreme Court to get a fair and reasonable rent for the family law court. We asked for $18, we were getting $12 in the old building. We asked for 18, that was not acceptable. They wanted an appraisal. We did an appraisal. We took it back, we asked for 20. They didn't like the appraisal. We had to have another appraisal done that stated comparables. That we've done, we've had it completed, and now the value per square foot should be $24.90.
I think we're done trying to compromise. I would move we submit the 2490 appraisal and request the, since we met everything the Supreme Court wanted, request the full amount in our agreement for this property, for this space.
Second.
Been properly moved in second, and all say is amen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Aye. Thank you. I think we met,
We jumped through
Yes.
hoops, we spent taxpayers' dollars, they need to honor it, that's what they wanted.
we did, and they
got
did,
it.
they wanted exactly, we followed the rules, the regulations, and like you said, jumping through the hoops, that's what it came up with, we should submit that.
Fair is fair.
That, fair is fair. They wanted us fair assessment, and that's what we did. Thank you. I'm very pleased with that. Okay, any other unfinished business? Okay. New business. City of Morgantown annexation request for the Morgan District. W Board of Governors.
This came through the city, they've approved it, they've sent a certificate acknowledging the ordinance, an ordinance annexing property of the West Virginia University Board of Governors and the West Virginia Department of Transportation in Morgan District into the corporate boundaries of the city of Morgantown, has been signed by the mayor and the clerk. This includes properties in Morgan District on tax map number 4, parcels 18.5, 20, 19, and one that's not applicable. It's been signed by the university, maps included, so they're asking for your approval.
The petition, if the petition is complete and all identifying marks are, we merely file a motion to direct the appropriate offices to make adjustments to reflect the annexation into the city of Morgantown, so I'll move that.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We also have the second annexation, which is
Second.
for Morgan District Air Park LLC.
Correct, and they've also submitted the ordinance petition for annexation, the signed certificate, exhibits on the territory being annexed with maps, same situation.
On the same basis, everything is presented and in order, so it's easily identified by the appropriate offices. Therefore, I move we would submit this to record and approve it.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Is there any other new business?
No.
Great. Okay, reports from elected officials. Are there any elected officials that'd like to say anything?
But nothing, you got everything out of me on it.
Okay. Okay. We got that. Reports from county commissioners. Ed?
Yeah. Monday, I did attend the Economic Outlook Conference. It was a very good conference. Our area still projects well, not so much for the state, but we, of course, in this area, holding our own. I I must be honest with you, I never thought that I would know so much about coal severance taxes when I took this position. I'm not an expert, and I know that, but this is really something what the state overall is experiencing. They did go into some federal stuff, but it was pretty much that the Federal Reserve was still holding its own. It would meet in, I believe, late December or early January to see if they would consider moving the interest rates. That was the federal. Last night was the firemen's meeting. It was at Westover. They've submitted a request for a revised billing ordinance they would like to be scheduled on work session. If you would go ahead and contact Bob Brookover and schedule him. Lastly, this was an article that was in the paper in Charleston last week. It says that our state dropped to a D-level rating in openness and transparency. And the only reason, and we actually raised up from 27th to 17th nationally, but the reason was that everybody else scored so dismally. Now, I'm mentioning this because this is the first day that we will have a full recording and minutes of the work session. We have removed any veil whatsoever of having all information available to the public. So I think that's an important thing, particularly in light of an article such as that, which puts so little trust in the public in the proceedings that we're involved with. That's it.
Thank you very much.
I just have a couple of things. One of the things came out of the recent Development Authority meeting. We're looking at developing that 13-acre parcel along Hartman Run Road. One of the issues that the Development Authority is facing at this point is the fact that Chaplain Hill Industrial Park is pretty much sold out. We're down to the last couple lots out there. The 95 plus acres of the Interstate 68 Industrial Park is at least 2 years away. These 13 acres will at least allow some acreage, some land that the Development Authority can help prepare for businesses. So those are things that are going on with the Development Authority. Also, Main Street, Morgantown will be receiving a letter from them. They want to, as I mentioned before, that they want to see the old magistrate building, the Montgomery Ward building, I always refer to it as, to try to bring in a national retailer in that space. So we'll be receiving a letter to that effect, which I'm supportive of. But once we receive that letter, we'll respond appropriately on that. Also, if leave of, he didn't know I was going to do this, if I could have leave of the other two commissioners, Jason Donahue is in the audience, and he's been he's been key and a hard worker for the county in so many different ways, and he represents the Lynches, John and Bob Lynch, who have really done some tremendous things to advance the county. So I'd like to give him an opportunity to speak about anything he chooses, but I would also like to hear his take on the home rule issue.
Put you on the spot. Good, yeah, fine.
It's okay, but it's,
You can sit there, you
yeah.
can stand, you can...
Yeah.
first of all, let me say this. Thank you. I'm the developer of the WVU property on Route 705, so that project is important to me, so thank you for your support on that. I think the arrangement with the city is very productive and progressive in a way for the city to expand and create jobs, expand its revenue at the same time while promoting and helping development occur in a reasonable way. The home rule, let me take this. I agree with you, Commissioner Callan. I don't like that word. I don't think that the bill that the chamber sort of helped compose is a home rule bill per se. it is a very narrow and specific piece of legislation designed to address one particular issue, which is funding for highway construction. At the time, and it's been a year and a half since we addressed it or composed it, and it was done at a time when there was very little, if any, certainty, and I'm not sure there is any more certainty of federal funds available for long-term capital road improvement construction projects. And so what we did is we tried to take all of the experiences that we had with our TIF project and the interchange and the cooperative spirit and the planning and some of the rules and regulations that are available in existing state code for that particular program, use some of the components of the home rule legislation that's available to the cities and sort of combine them into one umbrella, which is specifically addressing highway funding. And it's our local attempt to try to address what I believe is one of our huge problems as a community, which is we're holding our own. I think your comment about the economic conference on Monday is important. We're holding our own. Mm-hmm. We're not the city on the hill. We're not perfect. We have the potential to be better than we are, and one of the things that we have to do in order to address or become better is to improve our transportation system. There's absolutely no doubt about that. It's too hard to get from one side of town to the other side of town, and if you have somebody in from out of town who's thinking about locating a business here and they're trying to get away from Pittsburgh traffic or DC traffic and take advantage of our warm community, and then they sit in traffic for 45 minutes trying to go 4 miles, it sort of changes their impression pretty quickly. So we felt that if we as a community put transportation or traffic improvements as a priority, and I think Senator Manchin indicated this too, you can't show up and beg for money. We have a $400 million need according to the MPO. We're not going to get $400 million handed to us anytime soon. I can guarantee you that. So if we, however, had a mechanism where we would say we're willing to consider, and this is one of the key components of the transportation deal, the county has the option, once it presents a plan to the state reviews the plan, approves the plan, and sends the plan back to the county, then the county has the option of instituting a 1-cent sales tax. So basically, it really is incremental in its approach. It has to have buy-in and local support before it even goes to Charleston. Charleston still has sort of approval rights and can make sure what the county wants to do is not crazy or not too much or not too little. And the county negotiates with the state at that time to make sure that state and federal funds are used to match, so that then by the time it comes back to the county for the ultimate decision, the county's able to tell the public this is a good business deal. We're going to put in X number of dollars, the state's going to put in Y number of dollars, and the federal government's going to put in Z number of dollars, and the sum total is greater than any individual party can contribute, and we're going to get X, Y, Z for it. So it's very specific, it's very limited, it's only for a specific period of time that it takes to pay for those specific improvements. So to me, it's very narrowly focused to address a specific problem. And I think that that's the primary goal that the chamber in particular is. I can't speak for the chamber, but what our transportation committee tried to address was that issue alone. And having it be broader, maintenance, I sort of concede maintenance being a part of it, just because you got to maintain the road somehow, and if you have some part of it maintained, you probably can work with it. But it's not water lines, it's not sewer lines, it's not broadband lines, it's transportation. So I think it's really important, and I think the commission has a role to play in not just that funding option, because that's just one option, there might be others. The Marshall County plan is much broader. It's really based upon the unique circumstances that they have, which is they have a few large economic development oriented projects that receive nice tax rates for a long period of time, but then when that's over, they're going to have a big pile of cash, so to speak, so they want to use that cash in a way. So, I mean, it makes sense for them, but it seems complicated to me. I think, to me, the 1 cent sales tax is much more equitable because everybody who spends money is contributing, and non-residents pay, residents pay, tourists pay, travelers pay, workers pay, non-workers pay, everybody pays. And if you don't want to pay, then don't pay.
Canadians pay all the way to Florida.
Yeah, exactly. Foreigners pay, that's exactly right. So then the second part of that is even if that doesn't work, I think the county commission has a really active role to play working as a liaison with DOT. One of the things that I've noticed is the more willing you are to work with DOT, the more willing DOT is to work with us. And I think that the interchange is a really good example of that. I think that Commissioner Callens has seen over his tenure a change between the Hartman Run Bridge and now. I mean, so there's still opportunity for the commission to play an active leading role trying to coordinate local support to help DOT get projects that they already want to do done. So I think the commission has a really active role and can play a big part of improving the overall transportation system in Morgantown.
And I just add, the important aspect of this is that the law is sunset. It's for a specific project, it pays for a specific project, and it ends. And the requirement, the requirement that it meets a need, and all these things have to come together. The federal will commit money, the state will commit money, the local will commit money, we'll reach an agreement, we'll have a contracting level, we'll go to the banks, we'll look at what sort of funding, so we know what our obligation is. You can only get that after a period of negotiations and you get it set down. It will not exist 18 months later. That's why people who talk about a referendum are right. Foolish. They don't know what they're talking about. They do not understand the logistics of integrating the federal, the state, the local, all together, the banks, everything has to come together in a package. And then that package either makes sense or it doesn't make sense. But I appreciate that your input. I knew it would have been valuable because he was key from the beginning on the Transportation Committee, and that's my report.
Okay, I have a couple, but you just brought up an issue that I just thought about. Hartman Run Bridge. Did it not? My recollection came in less than what the cost is.
Yeah.
Were they not supposed to give us some money back?
Yes.
Could we just see where the money might be? Thank you. Completely forgot about that. And I believe it's but let's just see. If I believe
I talked to
Okay.
to Marvin.
I know there's a timeline.
A few months back, they have so many months to
Right.
I think it's like 6 months to complete the billing cycle or something before
Okay.
they can close it out. So it hasn't been quite 6 months yet.
Right, but it'd be interesting to know.
But it's all right to
Yeah,
find-
just so we
to
have it,
ask
it'd be
when.
not something to know if we're
Sure,
going to be getting
that's
back. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I'm going to ask this, and maybe we need to put on a work session, but it's just a general request. I happen to go to the Veterans Parade and the Veterans Memorial Program, and what I was wondering is, people were asking, and again, I know it used to be, we used to have the parade that led right into the service. And I want to know if, and that's why I want to put on the committee the work session in a couple weeks. So that'll give us some time to see if there's some feedback of what other people, what you would think of making a request. We can't mandate it, but send a letter saying it would be nice to go back to that style, have the parade end. The program's only 12 minutes long. And I think it would do a lot more for the veterans and for the community. It's just something I'd like to find out more about, because I mean, we stopped doing that, and separating just doesn't give what I believe the veterans should have. So if that's okay, just put that on it.
That's fine.
Because I don't know. Okay. Second positive news, I was fortunate last Friday. the Center for Chinese Business in the WVU College Business and Economics program sent over 15 individuals to learn more about the county commission. We happened to go downstairs, met with the bailiffs there. Then we went down to the Justice Center and came back and asked a couple questions. That's why you all have your pandas. This I love. I mean, it's this hand done. Different people, they represent all different areas and avenues, and the mayor of Shanghai has invited us there, so maybe we could do a road trip. But what was real interesting was one commonality, which was, I thought was funny. The same naysayers that every time say we can't do something as we move forward, they have the same problem in business in the China. And it was just real interesting as there was a comparison about what were their stumbling blocks and our stumbling blocks, and there was a lot of similarities. So I thought that was just really interesting. And they were just really pleased and did like the idea. And I did want to say that, please look on YouTube. I told the Chinese individuals that they will be on, so I want to thank you very much for their gifts. The next issue, normally I wouldn't say anything, but I think we needed a clarification. A couple of weeks ago, there were some comments in the paper by the Morgantown City Council members about the county and the residents, and some concerns about that the city residents were double dipping. Yesterday or last night, I was there to support the Mylan Park Foundation, as you know, for the recreational collaboration agreement. After the meeting, as the paper reports, the mayor made some comments such as she felt that the process seemed to have gotten out of order and the details being shared with the city after the fanfare, and it was kind of odd that we were coming now after the fact. I do need, in good conscience, to clarify those statements. The city of Morgantown was involved from the beginning. They've been at all our meetings. They had a copy. In fact, I even discussed modifications of the agreement with the city manager. So we were all in agreement with the collaboration agreement. It was then given to all of us 24 hours before, it was a Monday afternoon, 24 hours before the city council had their meeting. They did not were not able to put it on the agenda, which is fine, and we understand that. But I want it very clear that at that signing, the mayor and Jenny Celine stated that they were going to put it specifically on the agenda the next meeting, and that's why we were there, to explain any questions and concerns. So I want to get a clarification. It was not put again on the agenda. For what reasons, I don't know. But I do want to say one other thing, that at the meeting, several residents got up and were concerned that it was so far away. And I want it up front that we offered, through the committee, 2 different options of putting it in First Ward, and the leadership or the majority of the council chose not to do that. They did not want it in First Ward, so that's why we looked at another area, which was Mylan Park, and this was all done in the Brick Street program. I just wanted to make sure and clarify that, I'm very proud of this county commission that may have our differences, but, when we make a statement, we go out there and we publicly, we're very transparent. I'm really glad you said that. We're very upfront, and I'm just very frustrated. I hope that they become part of this project, but we're going to move forward because I believe the residents of the city and the county want this, and we will be moving this project forward, and we want to work together with all parties, and I believe it's a very important issue for economically and for this community. And I just wanted to clarify these statements, that they were involved from the beginning and had all the information, and I do not like misinformation. Thank you.
If I may, I'll just
Sure, go ahead.
That this started first as an inquiry by Oliver Luck, Bill Bartolo, and I were present at that inquiry. And Bill specifically said, bring it to the community forum, the community leadership forum. And I said, Bill, that's a great idea. We'll put it on the forum. And Ron, I think you were probably there at the initial forum when Oliver Luck made the presentation about this as an idea, and members of the city council were there at that time, and they were included. One of the follow-up meetings was held by Greg Morris at, before they went to Christiansburg or anything else, Greg Morris at Milan Park. And I can't remember whether you were there or not, Ron, but I know Bo Park and Mayor Saline and 2 or 3 other city council members were there. And that was the early discussion. That was over 15 months ago. To my knowledge, as it moved along, we designated you to work with this group. But to my knowledge, the current city council members have been there from the very beginning. So I do not understand their statements that was made. At least one's printed in the paper. Of course, they might say that the paper got it wrong. I don't know. I doubt it. Ben's sitting right here. He said you can listen to it on tape. But that I just wanted to re-emphasize as to where this came from. It was probably 16, 17 months ago, and 15 months ago. What was the meeting at Milan Park, and that's where the discussion was, what the involvement Bow Park would be, what involvement the city would be, whether it would be in Morgantown, whether it would be in Milan Park. All those things were kicked around at one of those early meetings. But the Community Leadership Forum, just about everyone was there, was present at the time. So just to confirm that the record is correct on this, that they have been participants from the beginning.
Thank you. And we're going to move forward, and hopefully they'll be a part of it. I mean, I want to, we're throwing out the olive leaf, branch, but we want this project. We think it's something very important, and we hope they do too. And we just wanted to clarify those statements. Thank you. I didn't know if you wanted. Okay. Okay. We need to go into executive session pursuant 6-9A-4-2A. Do I have a motion to do that?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We'll take a 5-minute break and then we will go into session. Okay.
Move to come out of executive session.
Second.
Been properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're now in regular session. Do I have a motion?
Move to recess till 2 p.m.
Second.
Work session
Okay,
at
move.
2 p.m.
Right. Moved. We have a proper motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're in recess till 2 o'clock.